When we first began our journey as Guardians fresh out of the Cosmodrome, the Traveler was dormant, hovering over our last city without purpose. As the years unfold and enemies invade our home though, the Traveler has fought back, assisted us, and even communicates through mysterious means. Today we're going to look back at the times where the Traveler has actually spoke to different characters, our Guardian, the Speaker, Rhulk, and much more. The Traveler speaks in interesting ways. One of the prominent forms of this communication seems to come from dreams and visions though. You have things like the dreams of Alpha Lupi, the Destiny 2 dream cutscene, and other cases in the lore. The whole Red War was pivotal in our connection to the Traveler. The dream cutscene was important, but so were the visions it showed to us in the Dark Forest, where we eventually found the shard and got our powers back.
Some of the greatest titans have defined the charge. Lord Shex, Saint 14, Wei Ming.
In Forsaken, we have the Visions of Light missions, where it straight up talks to us once more once we obtain new subclasses.
What was that?
Whatever you saw was for you and you alone. The Traveler is speaking to you. Eyes up, Guardian.
Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. Sacrifice leads to death.
These are different from the other trees we saw.
These visions are constructs of the Traveler's light, and light reacts to its surroundings.
The Traveler's been alive for a year. Why has it waited so long to speak to us?
The Traveler gave you a vision even before its rebirth. When Gaul blocked its light, the Traveler showed you a path forward. The road to recovery is long, but when we grow stronger, so too does the Traveler.
So big shout out to Jason's video game source for those clips. He allowed me to use those in the entire Story of Destiny video, and they post a lot of content documenting Destiny's past and other games. But this is interesting on multiple levels looking back at this now, near the end of this first saga. The Traveler speaks through dreams, but this was the first time we heard its voice, and possibly the only time. It's using words of other characters like Toland, the Speaker, Pujari, and somehow able to speak. What I find strange is the voice and imagery of all of this. The Witness is an entire species merged together. You often hear whispers and many voices echoing through as it speaks. The Traveler here sounds kinda the same, a bunch of different overlapping voices.
It's them. They're here. They're beckoning us.
Nice infinite cruelty. You, more than any, suffered both fates. Be free.
Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. Sacrifice leads to death.
What if this voice is actually the Witness when we thought it was the Traveler? During that quest, we also fight taken enemies on Io, and years later would interact with a pyramid in the exact same spot. Now that could be a crazy theory, but Ikora straight up tells us they are visions of light, which seems more likely, that this was the Traveler speaking to us and those other Guardians who visit Io. This came out in Forsaken, so way before the reveal of this darkness antagonist, and they likely didn't have the voice of the witness nailed down yet or even planned. So they used a similar voice effect for the Traveler and the Light, or maybe that's how the Traveler speaks as well. Beings of light merged as one. Random theories, but cool quest. The speaker said this in Destiny 2's campaign.
Me, speaker. What more does the Traveler want of me?
Gaul, I speak for the Traveler. I never said it spoke to me.
Now, we all believed this at the time, but it's actually a lie. The Traveler did speak to the speaker. In Singing from Book Constellations, we see this. Carefully, lovingly, I build a mask, an amplifier. No one knows about it but me. I won't get their hopes up, even though mine are sky high as I put the finishing touches on it. It's not beautiful like our old technology was. It is scuffed and bent and rusted like everything we own now. But if I'm right, if I can do this, it will do beautiful things. I can't bear to fail. I have failed at everything else so far. When I'm finished, I wear the mask. Pieces of it not sanded down are rough and sharp against my face, but I dream for the first time in my life. I have cried out unheard for so long that my voice is raw. From the Radiant Accipiter card. My captor desires knowledge, understanding, a clarity that even I have been denied by the Traveler. He does not understand how hard it is to communicate, does not care to. He would take rather than have the patience to be given. He asks me to make the Traveler see him, speak to him, but he does not understand. I cannot make the Traveler do anything. I can only listen and repeat, but he does not wish to listen to the warnings, to me. He does not wish to believe that he will be reduced to memory, fail. I have seen it. I have seen so many things. Before that shackle was put around the Traveler, it cried out to me. It showed me a broken mask, repaired by gold on fracture seams, everything I needed to see, a lifetime of service rewarded. I do not need to be afraid, the speaker, any longer. There is no need for fear. That time is past. Of us, of my peers, of our order. In the time to come, to make a choice, the Traveler will speak freely. Those who listen will know the dangers to come, and those who know will listen. They are not forgotten, speakers, for our time is past. A new age is dawning, and I wish I would live to see it. I am the last speaker, and I am at peace. So the Traveler did communicate with the speaker. He really just never understood until he created that mask, and in that last lore we see he lied to Gaul, saying that it never spoke to him. In the new Imperious Sun shell, we see a ghost speaking to Rhulk when the Traveler intervenes, because Rhulk and the Witness are interested in the light. Have you spawned? Cast your spores to the wind, lone wanderer. What gametophyte exists wherein they could partner? I think, yes, I believe I'm looking for a partner. Leviathan under glass, but with it, perhaps a fraction topples the whole. Crack a facet, crack the face, a sliver of light within. Ah, yes, there is. I am meant to share it with someone worthy. Rejoice, I have worth beyond worth. Disciple of the dark. Adversary? This one is not for you. And then Rhulk screams and says it's too bright. Nothing but scrap? They refuse to let their secrets be taken, only given. Poach another curious fruit from the witch's collection. They cannot, as a race, all deny our worth. So that's cool. We see Rhulk and the Witness interested in the powers of the light, but the Traveler steps in through this ghost and says, this one's not for you, you can't have the power, and as even Rhulk states, it's only given, you cannot take it like you can with the darkness. Speaking to Clovis Bray. In the Beyond Light Collector's lore, Clovis Bray, while on Europa and experimenting with exos, has some dreams which are actually messages from the Traveler. He just assumed that they were from the darkness and clarity instead. Note: third vision. Something else happened while I was in surgery. It returns to me now that the anti-traumatics have eased the terror of Sundaresh's presence. While I was dead, I had another vision. I was with Clovis II's mother. She was a wolf and one of her eyes was a star. I was also a wolf and I knew that I was the Alpha, the false Alpha, the pack leader who fights for dominance and rulership. The voice of Clovis II's mother came from her jaws. You did the same thing someone always does. You saw that there was plenty and gather it to yourself, to make yourself one above all others. And when others threatened your plenty, you struck them down to keep your own station. You grow the enemy in my garden and eat of its bitter fruit. Each time I hope it will be different. Each time I lose a little of myself as the bitter fruit blossoms. Now that fruit will flower in you and in all your people. I do not want it to happen. I want anything else, but the choice is not mine. So Clovis Bray is beginning to take the powers of the dark, and that's the Traveler speaking as Clovis II's mother, saying that it can't really stop it, but it did in fact speak to him in this vision. Thanks to the Hawkmoon quest, we also know Crow has experienced visions from the Traveler. Listen to this.
Something's been going on and I've been having these strange dreams lately. I'm flying. There's a green forest, mountains, European dead zone, I think. Sometimes the clouds part, and where there should be a bright blue sky, there's just darkness. I'm free, soaring toward a distant pillar of light, but the dream always ends the same way. That light flickers like a candle flame and goes out. And then there's nothing.
I don't understand how any of this is possible. There are historic records from the Dark Age detailing visions by survivors of the collapse. They varied, but the most widely held belief is they came from the dormant Traveler, like the survivors were experiencing its dreams, if it dreams.
So there you have some examples. The Traveler does speak, just in a little bit of a different way than we're normally used to. The darkness seems to interact with past memories and the light through dreams and visions. But Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Some examples where the Traveler has spoken. If you have any more examples, be sure to leave them in the comments. If you'd like to see some other Destiny news, lore, and mysteries like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.